Hi, I'm John. Welcome to my podcast. Today we're listening to the second side of the tape we made on August 2nd, 2000. Matt, Mike, John, and John. This was the very last time we ever got together, and this is the second side of that tape, and it may be the coolest thing we ever did. I'm not positive on that. We did some neat stuff, but it says the tape's warped, I think. And then it goes into where is the door? It wasn't always like that. And then calling me back to Cattle Lake and Crazy Clown Song. So this is episode 43 of the Snout. We're listening to the beginning of this. Now, I think this whole side, except for Crazy Clown Song, is all this long thing, and we're going to listen to it a little bit. I'm going to turn it up here. We'll see if the tape is warped. Does it slow down and speed up? So this is pretty much calling me back to Cattle Lake, which is what I called it. The beginning, we're muxing around a little bit, but in the end, Mike comes in to kind of retell the story of William Peterson and the swamp fairies, or William Peterson's encounter with the swamp fairies, from an much earlier tape. He goes back, but it's a different story, a different feel, and we're much better at playing. And we play this whole side, and it all sounds really cool. Now, you may think it's too long and all that, but I think we went on this stuff for a total of like 30 minutes, and yeah, it's interesting. So I'm going to turn it up and just let it play for a while. We'll see where it goes. We'll move into it. We'll listen to most of Mike's tale on this one because it's just pretty cool. We'll finish up with the Crazy Clown Song, but we're going to dwell on this one for a little while because it's just such a nice, chill groove. Isn't that a nice feel? All right, so here's Mike telling the story. So I guess
one that always made me laugh.
This goes on. I don't know. The beginning wasn't really anything. It's just call me back to Cattle Lake, or I called it calling me back to Cattle Lake. Let's see what happens. How long it goes on. wah crunchy guitar in the left channel.
Always imagine.
John is in the right channel. And then, yeah, me and Matt, the bass player and the drum machine. But we play this for this, whatever it is, 25 minutes or something. I can't remember exactly. And it sounds good the whole way through. Everything fits nicely. It's cool.
These references always came from the Bible. And the names were always the same.
David.
Sacrifice.
That is by far the longest I've let one play during this whole podcast series. It's just such a nice feel, and yeah, it's incredibly long, but it may not appeal to many people, but I think there's a quality that our band had that was pretty special, you know? I mean, the one rule, that nobody could ever tell anyone else what to play, ever, gave birth to this weird, completely improvised music. And I'm not going to call us a jam band because we weren't good enough to really jam, you know. And jam bands, they jam on songs they already know and then they improvise off of that. And we improvised absolutely everything. I mean, there was some real chemistry between us that allowed us to do, I think, music that was so much better than the sum of its parts. You know, we found ways to fit together just perfectly, and, you know, and yeah, we weren't amazing musicians, but I'll tell you this, and it's taken me 20 plus years to figure it out, is that we were a band and we didn't even know it. You know, we never really exposed anybody to our music except for the few people that came to play with us. I never took any of this. This tape was made and it was just blank, and it had the date on it and our names, and that's it, and went into a box. And I don't think I ever listened to it. I don't think I ever took this out and listened to it after we played it for 20 some years. I don't know why. You know, I know our lives changed. You know, we had all gone through our own form of recovery process, and we were figuring shit out, getting shit back together. But if I had listened to this as the person I am now back then, I would have kept playing. I don't know why I never thought that I was any good. And I know Mike said at one point after playing this session, he really thought, man, we should keep going, but he never talked to me about it. We never brought it up. I took a job where I was going to be traveling, and there was no way I could keep all of my equipment, and I didn't have any place to store it. Excuse me. So I sold it all, you know, and moved on. You know, I had to get a job that was going to pay me enough to try to catch up from all the fucking behind I was from being a drunk. And yeah, it was, to me, I think, just a shame that we stopped doing what we were doing and never got to realize what it might have become. But, you know, Matt moved to New York, and I got a job where I had to travel, and, you know, everybody kind of moved on, and we never even really brought it up again. After this day, I don't remember ever really even, you know, I remember talking with Mike a few times, but we all kind of moved on with our thing, and then it just never happened again. It's just weird to me how oblivious we were to the fact that this is pretty damn cool, and we were a band, and that's what this podcast has been about. Now, there will be more episodes because there's just some stuff within all of this that I want to go into a little deeper, you know. But, you know, we were a band, and we evolved, and our name was about evolving, and we knew that that name was cool. I mean, we jumped right on it. I mean, the story behind it and everything fit perfectly with what we were doing. And, you know, the Snout found his way out of the muck, and we all did too. And this helped us do it. This was our therapy, and maybe that was it. That was all it needed to be. But I have purchased new equipment and have recommitted myself to start doing music again in whatever form it takes. Mike still has his nice Gibson electric guitar. What is it, Les Paul or something? Or maybe is it an SG? I can't remember. But he bought a new amp, and he's planning on starting to come up here to start messing around. And then I found a guy, Rich, here locally, who I've known for a number of years, kind of peripherally. And he's a bass player. He's, I think, late 20s, but young single father who needs an outlet, and so he wants to join us to play. And so we're going to start again. Now, I don't believe we'll start from this level again, but we're going to start again. And then the other cool thing is Mike has been playing this for friends of his who are actual musicians. And it's not that impressive until he explains to them that this was all absolutely improvised, on the spot. Everything we ever did was just made up as we went there, And then they're like, wow, And then we've had two. Now, Mike's had at least two different people say they'd like to come and play with us sometime. I've had one person say that too, and that's really cool that actual musicians hear this stuff, and once they realize what we're doing, they're like, oh, that sounds really fun, And so hopefully down the road here there will be new music to share. Now, will it be Snout music? I don't know whether we can claim that name without Matt, Ray of Sunshine, Matt, bass player guy, super duper guy. He is in New York. He's a family man with a couple of kids. Hasn't expressed a whole lot of interest in this, other than he said, hey man, if you do some stuff, send me tapes and I'll play some bass for it. And we're going to do that. Maybe we'll try to do some studio stuff and send to him. But the live stuff, we kind of need a bass player here. I haven't had the heart to tell Matt that, and I don't know. I think he'd understand. He's a pretty cool guy. But yeah, to have somebody here while we're playing the bass is, I think, really important. But we're never going to replace him, because if you listen to everything we did, when we were all fucking up, screwing up, trying to learn, Matt just kept playing and was good the whole time. I mean, yeah, he's a hell of a bass player. We can't replace him. And he did some of the stuff he did was just wild, crazy, weird bass playing. But it all fit, no matter what we were doing and how crazy he was getting, whether he's beating on his guitar with a lighter, playing slide with it or something on his bass. It always sounded good. So we can't replace him. But hopefully we're going to be able to get together and start doing this again. And I'm making certain that when we do this, I'm going to start recording everything again, because I can and because I want to. That was a big part of this for me, is being the engineer of all this and making it work was a really cool experience. And I learned a lot, which most has been forgotten, but I'm going to learn it again. Plus, this was all recorded analog, and everything, is going to be recorded on the computer. All right, we're going to start the Crazy Clown song. You listen to this one for a little while. It's fun. It's weird. It just happened after the other one.
crazy clown.
I apologize. That first song was only 21 minutes long. I thought it was a little longer. But this tape ends early because we were done.
This is Crazy Clown song.
This is the very last song we ever played together. And at the end of it, Mike just kind of fuck that or something. We just fuck it, we're done. And we never pick it up again. Which is so weird. But I will be back once I figure out what the other episodes are going to be. I'll start doing them, and hopefully we'll have more content immediately after this last episode of the tapes. But I'm going to sign off here. I'm going to let this play for another probably, I think it's 9 minutes long, so another 7, 8 minutes. I'm just going to play the end. You'll hear the very end where Mike just says fuck it or something like that, and that will be it. But I want to thank you for joining me, and if you did stick with me through all of these tapes, I'm amazed. But if you jumped to the end to hear what we sounded like, I hope you're amazed. I don't know. Were we good? That's not up to me to decide, but I believe we were good enough that I'm going to start this again and try to keep things going at age 60. I'm a pipe dreamer, but we're going to have some fun. I'm not ever expecting to get any recognition or money or anything for any of this. All I want to do is make music again because we had so much fun, and I want a little bit more of that joy in my life. So thank you for joining me for episode 43 and the last episode involving these tapes in sequential order. My name's John Dundas. This has been The Snout, We Were a Band, episode 43. And we will catch you soon. Peace, everybody. Enjoy the end of Crazy Clown Song.
thought that was good.